The danger isn't just in what you do in the morning. Sometimes the problem starts before coffee, before a shower, even before you get to the bathroom. The problem might be in the way you get out of bed. That's right. A movement that seems simple, that you repeat every day without thinking twice, can be the riskiest moment of your first hours of life. And the worst part is that most people have never heard of it. Think about how many times you've gotten out of bed today, yesterday, last week. Hundreds, thousands of times over the years, and you probably never stopped to think that this automatic movement, done without attention, can carry a silent risk. It's not a risk that appears with pain, nor with a warning. It's a risk that accumulates day after day without you realizing it. And the reason you're watching this video right now is simple. This information can protect you, or someone you love, from a shock that could have been avoided with such a small change that it seems almost silly not to have discovered it sooner. Before we continue, if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. Every week we bring you simple and straightforward information about health, prevention, and safety so you can live more peacefully. It's quick, it's free, and it can make a difference for you or someone you love. Now, let's understand exactly what happens to your body in the first few seconds after you open your eyes. Many people wake up and get up quickly because they need to go to the bathroom. Others do it out of pure habit, out of routine, because that's how it's always been. And many people think, I've always done it this way and nothing has ever happened to me. But here's what nobody told you. After age 60, the body doesn't respond as quickly as before, and that has nothing to do with weakness or lack of care. It has to do with biology. It has to do with how the cardiovascular system ages silently, without warning. Over the years, blood vessels lose some of the elasticity they had in youth. The heart, even when healthy, takes a little longer to react to sudden changes, and the mechanisms that automatically adjust blood pressure, those that work without you even noticing, become a little slower. It's like a safety system that still works, but now needs a few extra seconds to react. The danger isn't just in what you do in the morning. Sometimes the problem starts before coffee, before a shower, even before you get to the bathroom. The problem might be in the way you get out of bed. That's right. A movement that seems simple, that you repeat every day without thinking twice, can be the riskiest moment of your first hours of life. And the worst part is that most people have never heard of it. Think about how many times you've gotten out of bed today, yesterday, last week, hundreds, thousands of times over the years, and you probably never stop to think that this automatic movement, done without attention, can carry a silent risk. It's not a risk that appears with pain, nor with a warning. It's a risk that accumulates day after day without you realizing it. And the reason you're watching this video right now is simple. This information can protect you, or someone you love, from a shock that could have been avoided with such a small change that it seems almost silly not to have discovered it sooner. Many people imagine that heart problems give advance warning, a sharp pain in the chest, a tightness, a noticeable shortness of breath, and, in many cases, that's exactly how it happens. But there is another type of overload, more silent, more discreet, that doesn't hurt, doesn't tighten, doesn't give clear warning. It simply happens every day, the moment you get out of bed, and gradually wears down a system that is already more sensitive than it was 20 or 30 years ago. And what makes this even more important is that this change doesn't require medication, doesn't require immediate medical consultation, doesn't require any special equipment. It only requires awareness. Knowing what's happening inside your body at this specific moment is already the first step to protecting yourself. Before we continue, if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. Every week we bring you simple and straightforward information about health, prevention, and safety so you can live more peacefully. It's quick, it's free, and it can make a difference for you or someone you love. Now let's understand exactly what happens to your body in the first few seconds after you open your eyes. Many people wake up and get up quickly because they need to go to the bathroom. Others do it out of pure habit, out of routine, because that's how it's always been. And many people think, I've always done it this way and nothing has ever happened to me. But here's what nobody told you. After age 60, the body doesn't respond as quickly as before. And that has nothing to do with weakness or lack of care. It has to do with biology. It has to do with how the cardiovascular system ages silently, without warning. As we age, blood vessels lose some of the elasticity they had in youth. The heart, even when healthy, takes a little longer to react to sudden changes. And the mechanisms that automatically adjust blood pressure, those that work without you even noticing, become a little slower. It's like a safety system that still works, but now needs a few extra seconds to react. Imagine an old elevator in a building that's been in use for many years. It still goes up, still goes down, still works perfectly well. But if you press the button and expect it to react instantly like a new elevator, you'll notice a slight delay. It's not a defect. It's just the time that older system needs to respond. Something similar happens with your body after a certain age. It still functions very well, but it needs a little more time to adjust to abrupt changes, like going from lying down to standing up quickly. When you go from lying down to standing up too quickly, your heart needs to compensate for the abrupt change, and that change is bigger than it seems. Blood flows from the upper parts of the body to the legs. Blood pressure can drop suddenly, and the brain, for a few seconds, may receive less blood than it needs. At that moment, the heart is forced to work faster, trying to stabilize everything at once. It's like asking an engine to accelerate from 0 to maximum without warming up first. It can manage it, but the effort is much greater than it needs to be. To better understand, think of it this way. About half a liter to a liter of blood can accumulate in the legs and abdomen the instant you stand up quickly. This blood needs to be redistributed immediately so that the brain continues to receive the necessary oxygen. In younger people, this adjustment happens almost instantly, without the person feeling anything at all. But, as the years go by, this adjustment can take a few seconds longer, and it is precisely in those seconds that dizziness, blurred vision, and a feeling of weakness appear. And why does this happen specifically in the morning? Because the morning is already a delicate time for the cardiovascular system. The body is emerging from several hours of rest. Blood pressure begins to reorganize. Wakefulness hormones kick in, preparing the body for the day. And if, precisely at this moment of internal reorganization, you decide to get up too quickly, you are adding an extra burden to a process that is already underway. It's like interrupting an orchestra in the middle of a rehearsal and asking everyone to play at maximum volume without warning. In fact, studies on the cardiovascular system show that the morning period, right after waking up, concentrates a significant proportion of cardiac events throughout the day. This happens precisely because of this combination: the body in transition, blood pressure adjusting, hormones kicking in, and, on top of all that, the abrupt movement of getting up quickly. It's no coincidence that so many doctors specifically warn about the precautions to take during this time of day. And here is the most common mistake, the one that almost no one realizes they are making every day. The mistake isn't waking up. Everyone wakes up. The mistake is what comes right after, opening your eyes and immediately throwing yourself out of bed, quickly slamming your legs out, getting up all at once, walking fast, going straight to the bathroom, almost running. This small habit repeated every day may seem completely normal, but for your heart, it can represent a silent, invisible effort that accumulates over time. It is precisely this type of repetitive, small, but constant effort that many experts point to as a factor that goes unnoticed in the routines of millions of people. And here's where the bathroom trap comes in, something that almost every elderly person has experienced without ever stopping to think about it. Many people say, "But I need to get up quickly because I really need to go to the bathroom." And that's exactly where the danger lies. The urgency makes a person ignore important signs: dizziness, weakness, loss of balance, that feeling of vision blurring for a second. All of this is ignored because the priority at that moment seems to be getting to the bathroom as quickly as possible. Think about the last time you woke up with a strong urge to urinate. Your entire body seems focused on a single mission: getting to the bathroom as quickly as possible. And in this state of urgency, any warning signal your body tries to send ends up being pushed to the back burner. Dizziness is ignored. The feeling of weakness is ignored. The imbalance in the first steps is ignored, because at that moment the mind is completely concentrated on one thing only, and this distraction can be costly. But the real risk isn't just feeling unwell. The risk is also falling, and a fall in this age group can have much more serious consequences than a simple scare. A fall that, in a younger person, would result only in a scratch or a passing scare, can represent, for an older person, a fracture, a head injury, or weeks of recovery. And worse, many of these falls happen precisely on the way between the bed and the bathroom, exactly on the most repeated, most automatic route, and therefore the most underestimated. Let's talk about the signs that many people experience and that many others ignore, thinking it's normal. Dizziness upon standing, blurred vision for a few seconds, that lightheaded feeling like everything is spinning rapidly, heart racing, beating harder than normal. Weakness in the legs right from the first steps, unbalanced, as if the ground were not entirely firm. Many people think this is just part of aging, but, in fact, it can be a sign that the body is not adapting well to the rapid change in position, and this is something that can be adjusted with simple changes in routine. If any of these signs seem familiar to you, don't worry, because in the next part of this video, we'll show you exactly what to do to reduce this risk in a simple and practical way. Now, there are groups of people who need to pay even more attention to this habit. If you fall into one of these groups, what we're about to talk about is especially important for you. People with high blood pressure may experience this because their bodies are already working to control elevated pressure, and a sudden, unexpected drop can further confuse this regulatory system. People with low blood pressure, because they start from a weaker base, are more susceptible to significant dizziness by any further drop in blood pressure, even a small one. People with diabetes, because this condition can affect the nerves responsible for automatically adjusting blood pressure, making this response slower. People with a history of heart attacks, because their hearts have already been through an episode of overload, deserve even more care in situations that require extra effort. People who use stents do so for the same reason. Their cardiovascular system has already undergone an intervention and needs extra attention. People with heart failure, because the heart is already working at a reduced capacity, and every extra effort counts more significantly. People with arrhythmias, those alterations in heart rhythm, may experience problems because sudden changes in position can, in some cases, interact with these rhythm changes. People who use medication to control blood pressure should be aware that these medications, while essential, can make the body somewhat more sensitive to drops in blood pressure when changing position. People who use diuretics, because these medications increase urine production, which can also influence blood pressure, and people who wake up several times during the night to urinate, which is extremely common after a certain age and which multiplies the daily opportunities in which this risk can arise. If you identified with any of these points, pay special attention to what we are about to explain, because it may be exactly your case. And there's an important detail that many people don't consider. The risk doesn't only exist when you wake up in the morning. It can also happen in the middle of the night, at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, when you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. At this time of day, the person is drowsy, yet still half awake. The house is dark. Balance is worse than during the day. And the rush to get to the bathroom in this state can turn a simple dizziness into a serious fall. In fact, many experts in elderly safety point out that nighttime falls between the bed and the bathroom are among the most common at home, and the combination of sleepiness, darkness, and haste creates exactly the ideal scenario for a small slip to turn into a serious accident. Now that you understand the problem, let's talk about the solution. And the good news is that it's extremely simple. You don't need to transform your entire morning. You don't need any equipment, any new medication, any radical changes to your routine. You just need to give your body a few seconds, just a few seconds, to understand that the day has begun. Instead of lifting all at once, make the transition slower, in stages. First, remain lying down for a few moments after opening your eyes. Let your body realize you are waking up without any rush. Next, sit on the bed with your feet still on the mattress. Stay in this position for a few seconds before moving on to the next step. Next, slowly place your feet on the ground, allowing your body to adjust to this new position. Breathe calmly for a few seconds, sitting down with your feet flat on the floor. And only then, with all that done, stand up slowly, paying attention to how your body is reacting. This entire sequence takes, at most, 30 seconds. 30 seconds that may seem insignificant compared to the rest of your day, but that make a huge difference to your cardiovascular system. It's a small investment with a very high return on investment. And if you usually wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, this same sequence applies. It doesn't matter if it's 6 in the morning or 3 in the morning. Your body deserves this short break before any sudden movement. If possible, keep a soft nightlight on the way to the bathroom to further reduce the risk of tripping or losing your balance in the dark. This short pause, lasting a maximum of 30 seconds, can significantly reduce the shock of the change in position on your cardiovascular system. It's that simple. And it can be the difference between a peaceful morning and a morning filled with a fright. I want you to remember this sentence because it sums up everything we've talked about so far. Before you start walking, give your heart time. Before rushing to the bathroom, give your body time. Before starting your day, allow your blood pressure to adjust. Remember this phrase. Repeat it to yourself tomorrow morning before you get out of bed. It may seem like a small thing, but it's precisely this little habit that separates a safe morning from an unnecessary risk. Before we wrap up, an important reminder about when you should seek professional help. If you frequently experience dizziness upon standing, have fainted or have chest pain, shortness of breath, strong palpitations, sudden weakness on one side of your body, or difficulty speaking, these symptoms should not be ignored. These signs require immediate medical attention. Don't wait, don't delay, see a doctor. None of the information in this video replaces a medical consultation. If you are already experiencing these symptoms frequently, the most important thing you can do now is talk to your doctor and tell them exactly what you have been feeling. Did you enjoy this video so far? Leave a like now and also leave a comment telling us if you usually get up quickly or slowly. Your answer can help other people who are watching and going through the same situation. Now, to conclude with the most important reflection from this entire video, your heart worked all night for you. While you slept, it kept beating, pumping blood, keeping every part of your body functioning, without stopping, without resting, without asking for anything in return. And it continues working right when you open your eyes in the morning. The way you get out of bed might seem like a small, almost insignificant detail, something no one has ever paid attention to before. But for your body, for your cardiovascular system, that detail can make a big difference. The difference between a day that starts calmly and a day that starts with a scare that could have been avoided. Think of all the years your body has worked for you. All the mornings it adjusted, adapted, recovered, even without you realizing all that silent effort. In return, it deserves a few seconds of care at the start of each day. It's not asking too much. It's simply giving back a little of the care it already offers you every day without exception. The morning doesn't have to start as a race against time. It doesn't have to be that moment of rushing, of getting up quickly, running to the bathroom, of already rushing out thinking about everything that needs to be done. It can and should begin as a safe transition. A few more seconds lying down. A few more seconds sitting up, a few more seconds breathing calmly before putting your feet on the ground. This small act of care, repeated every day, can protect your heart from unnecessary strain. It can protect your balance from an avoidable fall, and it can protect your peace of mind, knowing that you are taking care of your body the way it deserves to be cared for. Taking care of your health isn't always about big changes. Sometimes it's about small adjustments, made consciously and repeated every day, that make all the difference over time. It's not about a radical diet, hours of exercise, or expensive medications. It's about 30 seconds every morning dedicated to giving your body the time it needs. If you've made it this far, it shows that you care about your health or the health of someone you love, and that concern, that care, is exactly what makes the difference over the years. Small changes, maintained consistently, are worth much more than big promises that only last a few days. And before we wrap up, I need to ask you two quick things. First, please like this video. This greatly helps the channel reach other people who also need to hear this information. People who may never have stopped to think about this simple habit of getting out of bed. Second, leave a comment below. Tell me, have you ever felt dizzy when standing up quickly? Do you know someone, a father, a mother, a grandfather, a grandmother, who has this habit of rushing to the bathroom? Share this information with that person. It might be exactly the warning they need, and it could prevent a scare they never imagined could happen. And if you want to continue taking care of your health and safety with simple and direct information like this, watch the next video that's appearing on your screen. It brings another important warning that can make a big difference in your daily life. Take care of your heart, take care of your body, and start each morning calmly.